Before the Oscars, before the scandals, before he became one of the last true movie stars in Hollywood, Brad Pitt was almost nobody. A college student in Missouri, just 2 credits away from graduating. No connections in Los Angeles. No famous relatives. No guarantee that anyone would ever remember his name. And yet, within a single decade, he would transform from an unknown outsider into one of the most desired, controversial, and respected actors of his generation. This is not just the story of fame. It is the story of reinvention. William Bradley Pitt was born on December 18, 1963, in Shawnee, Oklahoma, but he grew up in Springfield, Missouri, inside a conservative Southern Baptist household shaped by discipline, structure, and traditional values. His father owned a trucking company. His mother worked as a school counselor. It was a stable, middle-class upbringing, grounded and predictable. Nothing about it suggested Hollywood. As a teenager, Pitt was active and competitive, participating in sports, student government, debates, and school activities. He was social, driven, and curious about the world beyond Missouri. When he enrolled at the University of Missouri in 1983, he chose journalism, focusing on advertising. Storytelling fascinated him, but acting still felt distant, almost unrealistic. And yet something inside him was unsettled. The path ahead looked safe, but not exciting. Predictable, but not fulfilling. Just weeks before graduating, Pitt made a decision that defied logic. He left college. He packed his car, and he drove to Los Angeles with no plan except one, to try. Los Angeles did not reward him immediately. The early years were uncertain. He worked odd jobs. He studied acting. He faced rejection after rejection. Small television appearances came and went, barely noticed. Fame was nowhere in sight. He appeared in minor roles in shows like Dallas, Growing Pains, and 21 Jump Street, but nothing broke through. He took acting classes, worked odd jobs to survive, and kept pushing forward, believing that persistence would eventually matter. Then, in 1991, everything changed. A relatively small role in a road movie changed everything. The film was Thelma Louise. Pitt played J.D., a charming drifter who briefly enters the lives of the 2 protagonists. His screen time was limited, but his impact was not. There was a natural magnetism in his presence, effortless, confident, almost dangerous. Audiences noticed immediately. Hollywood did too. Overnight, he was labeled the new heartthrob. Magazine covers followed. Interviews multiplied. Casting offers began to shift. Suddenly, Brad Pitt was no longer fighting for visibility. He was fighting expectations. The early 1990s positioned him as a romantic leading man. In A River Runs Through It, directed by Robert Redford, he portrayed a rebellious young man growing up in Montana. The performance was restrained yet emotionally charged, revealing depth beneath the surface charm. Then came Legends of the Fall in 1994, where Pitt played Tristan Ludlow, a passionate and tragic figure caught between love, war, and family loyalty. The film amplified his image as a dramatic leading man and cemented his status as one of the most desirable actors in Hollywood. But Pitt understood something crucial. If he stayed in that lane, he would be trapped. Hollywood loves to simplify its stars: the handsome rebel, the romantic hero, the golden boy. And Brad Pitt refused to become predictable. That refusal became clear in 1995. Instead of choosing safe roles, he took on Say 7 On, a dark psychological thriller directed by David Fincher. Pitt played Detective David Mills, a young, impulsive cop investigating a series of brutal murders. The film was bleak, disturbing, and uncompromising. It ended not with triumph, but devastation. It shocked audiences and elevated Pitt from heartthrob to serious actor. That same year, he appeared in 12 Monkeys, delivering one of the most unexpected performances of his career. In 12 Monkeys, Brad Pitt did something few rising stars are willing to risk. He disappeared inside chaos. He played Jeffrey Goins, a mentally unstable activist with erratic speech, unpredictable movements, and manic intensity. The performance was loud, twitchy, almost unhinged, the complete opposite of the composed romantic lead audiences expected. It was a gamble, and it worked. Pitt won a Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actor and received his first Academy Award nomination. More importantly, he proved that he wasn't just a movie star. He was an actor willing to look strange, unstable, even ridiculous if the role demanded it. The late 1990s became a period of experimentation. In 7 Years in Tibet, Pitt portrayed Austrian mountaineer Heinrich Harrer, immersing himself in a story that touched on spirituality and the political tension surrounding Tibet. The film expanded his global recognition, even as it sparked controversy in China. In Meet Joe Black, he embodied death itself in human form, a quiet, mysterious presence navigating love and mortality. It was poetic and somber, far from commercial action spectacle. Yet the most seismic shift came in 1999 with Fight Club. Fight Club arrived like a cultural earthquake. Directed by David Fincher, the film cast Pitt as Tyler Durden, charismatic, rebellious, philosophical, and dangerously seductive. Tyler was not just a character. He was an ideology. Anti-consumerism, masculine crisis, identity fragmentation. Fight Club captured the anxiety of a generation entering the new millennium. At first, the film divided critics. Some saw it as irresponsible. Others saw brilliance. Over time, it became one of the most influential cult films in modern cinema. And Tyler Durden became iconic. Brad Pitt was no longer just famous. He was mythologized. After the psychological intensity of Fight Club, Brad Pitt pivoted again, this time toward mainstream entertainment without sacrificing charisma. In 2001, he joined an ensemble cast led by George Clooney in Ocean's 11, a stylish heist film directed by Steven Soderbergh. Playing the effortlessly cool Rusty Ryan, Pitt brought laid-back humor and quiet confidence to the screen. The film was a massive commercial success and spawned 2 sequels, Ocean's 12 and Ocean's 13, cementing Pitt as both bankable and adaptable. He could carry brooding dramas, but he could also thrive in slick, crowd-pleasing blockbusters. Then came Troy in 2004, where Pitt portrayed the legendary Greek warrior Achilles. The transformation was physical and symbolic. He trained intensely, building a sculpted physique that became instantly iconic. But beneath the armor and spectacle, his Achilles carried arrogance, pride, and existential doubt. Troy reinforced his status as a global leading man, not just a star, but a cinematic presence large enough for epic storytelling. In 2005, Mr. and Mrs. Smith changed everything, not just professionally, but personally. Starring opposite Angelina Jolie, Pitt played a bored suburban husband who discovers his wife is a secret assassin just like him. The film blended action, comedy, and undeniable chemistry. That chemistry ignited intense media attention, especially as Pitt's marriage to Jennifer Aniston ended around the same time. The press coined the term Brangelina, and suddenly Brad Pitt was no longer just an actor. He was half of the most talked-about celebrity couple in the world. Paparazzi followed every move. Adoption stories, international travel, humanitarian visits. Their lives unfolded publicly. Fame reached a different level. But even amid tabloid chaos, Pitt never stopped evolving artistically. While the tabloids focused on his personal life, Pitt quietly entered one of the most artistically ambitious phases of his career. In 2006, he starred in Babel, directed by Alejandro González Iñárritu. The film wove together multiple interconnected stories across different countries, exploring miscommunication, cultural division, and human fragility. Pitt played a desperate husband trying to save his wife after a tragic accident in Morocco. It was restrained, vulnerable work, less about spectacle and more about emotional realism. The film received critical acclaim and multiple Academy Award nominations, reinforcing Pitt's credibility in serious cinema. The following year, he delivered one of the most haunting performances of his career in The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. Portraying the legendary outlaw Jesse James, Pitt abandoned glamour entirely. His Jesse was quiet, paranoid, charismatic yet hollow, a fading myth aware of his own impending doom. The performance earned him the Volpe Cup for Best Actor at the Venice Film Festival. Years later, Pitt would say it was his favorite film among his own work. It wasn't a box office phenomenon, but artistically, it was a milestone. Then came 2008, a year that showcased his extraordinary range. In Burn After Reading, directed by the Coen brothers, Pitt played a hilariously clueless gym employee caught in a chaotic espionage scheme. It was pure comedic absurdity, and his performance was widely praised as one of the funniest of his career. That same year, he starred in The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, reuniting with David Fincher. Playing a man who ages in reverse, Pitt carried the film through decades of transformation, physically and emotionally. The role demanded subtlety, melancholy, and philosophical depth. The film received 13 Academy Award nominations, and Pitt earned another Oscar nomination for Best Actor. By the end of the 2000s, one thing was clear: Brad Pitt was no longer just navigating Hollywood. He was shaping it. In 2009, Pitt stepped into one of the most iconic roles of his career, Lieutenant Aldo Raine in Quentin Tarantino's Inglourious Basterds. With a thick Southern accent and an unapologetic swagger, Pitt delivered a performance that was both intense and darkly humorous. The film reimagined World War II through Tarantino's explosive storytelling, and Pitt embraced the stylized brutality with confidence. Inglourious Basterds became a massive commercial and critical success, earning multiple Academy Award nominations and cementing Pitt's ability to balance blockbuster appeal with auteur-driven cinema. But around this time, Pitt was becoming just as powerful behind the camera as he was in front of it. Through his production company, Plan B Entertainment, he began backing films that studios might have considered risky. In 2006, Plan B produced The Departed, which won the Academy Award for Best Picture. Then came The Tree of Life in 2011, an ambitious, philosophical drama directed by Terrence Malick. The film won the Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival, and Pitt's performance as a strict, conflicted father was praised for its emotional complexity. That same year, Pitt starred in Moneyball, portraying Billy Beane, the general manager of the Oakland Athletics who revolutionized baseball using data analytics. It wasn't an action film. It wasn't glamorous. It was dialogue-heavy, intelligent, and subtle. Pitt carried it with calm authority. At this stage in his career, Brad Pitt wasn't chasing fame. He was chasing meaning, and Hollywood was taking notice. In 2013, Pitt returned to large-scale blockbuster territory with World War Z, a global thriller centered around a zombie pandemic. The production faced serious challenges behind the scenes, including script rewrites and delays. Many predicted it would fail. It didn't. The film became the highest-grossing project of Pitt's career, earning over $500 million worldwide. But more than just a commercial victory, it proved something important. Pitt could still open a movie globally while maintaining credibility as a serious actor and producer. That same year, he was involved in a very different kind of film, one that would define his legacy as a producer. 12 Years a Slave was raw, painful, and historically unflinching. Pitt had a small acting role, but his most significant contribution was behind the scenes through Plan B Entertainment. The film won the Academy Award for Best Picture. Brad Pitt now had an Oscar, not as an actor, but as a producer. And this dual identity, artist and architect, became central to who he was in Hollywood. In 2014, he starred in Fury, a gritty World War II drama about a tank commander leading his crew through the final days of the war. The film showcased a more hardened, battle-worn Pitt, older, rougher, more introspective. While his professional life seemed steady, his personal life entered turbulent territory. In 2016, following an incident aboard a private plane, Pitt was investigated over allegations involving one of his children. He was not charged with any crime by the FBI or Los Angeles authorities. However, the event marked a turning point. His marriage to Angelina Jolie ended shortly after. Behind the fame, awards, and global recognition, Brad Pitt entered one of the most difficult chapters of his life. After the divorce and public scrutiny, Pitt stepped away from the spotlight in a different way. In September 2016, he made a decision that would quietly redefine his life. He got sober. Pitt later revealed that he began attending Alcoholics Anonymous meetings. He described that period as one of deep self-reflection, painful, humbling, but necessary. Sobriety, for him, wasn't just about quitting drinking. It was about rebuilding himself. He even credited fellow actor Bradley Cooper for supporting him during that transition. And in a conversation with Anthony Hopkins, another actor in recovery, Pitt spoke openly about confronting addiction and learning to take responsibility. It was the first time the public saw a different Brad Pitt. Not the golden boy, not the rebel, not the Hollywood heartthrob, but a man in reconstruction. By 2019, Pitt delivered two of the strongest performances of his later career. First, Ad Astra, a slow, introspective space drama where he played an emotionally distant astronaut searching for his missing father. The film mirrored themes of isolation, masculinity, and emotional restraint, themes that strangely echoed Pitt's own public image. But it was his second film that year that would change everything: Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. His performance as Cliff Booth earned him the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor, cementing his status as one of Hollywood's most respected stars. Beyond acting, Pitt remained deeply involved as a producer. Through Plan B Entertainment, he brought groundbreaking stories to the screen, including The Big Short, 2015, which highlighted the 2008 financial crisis, blending entertainment with social commentary. His choices reinforced his reputation for storytelling that matters, balancing commercial appeal with artistic integrity. In the early 2020s, Pitt returned to action-oriented projects without losing his depth. Films like Bullet Train, 2022, showcased his skill for high-energy roles, mixing wit, charm, and intensity. Audiences saw that Pitt could still headline blockbusters while maintaining critical credibility. Alongside that, his humanitarian efforts continued, from sustainable housing to global health campaigns, reflecting a career that balanced artistry with social impact. And then came 2025. Brad Pitt took on the role of a legendary Formula One driver in F1, a film dramatizing the highs and lows of racing at the sport's peak. Pitt trained intensely, learning driving techniques and fully immersing himself in the racing world. The film highlighted both the physical and psychological demands of Formula One, allowing Pitt to explore a new facet of performance: the intensity of speed, competition, and mental endurance. Critics praised his dedication and authenticity, noting that even decades into his career, Pitt could reinvent himself yet again. F1, 2025, marked a new chapter. Not only was he engaging with a global sporting phenomenon, but he was also proving that age and experience only deepen his craft. Audiences witnessed a mature actor still willing to take risks, push limits, and embody characters that resonate far beyond the screen. As of today, Brad Pitt remains a force in Hollywood, both on screen and behind the camera. He continues to balance blockbuster appeal with challenging, meaningful projects. Plan B Entertainment thrives as a hub for socially and historically relevant films, while Pitt himself embraces roles that test emotional and physical boundaries. His journey, from Missouri college dropout to global icon, stands as a testament to resilience, versatility, and reinvention. Beyond film, Pitt's influence spans philanthropy, environmental advocacy, and personal growth. His sobriety and public reflection reveal a man who confronts challenges with honesty, while his work continues to inspire audiences and collaborators alike. Brad Pitt is not just an actor, not just a star. He is a storyteller, a producer, and a figure whose impact on cinema and culture remains profound. Even decades into his career, the evolution continues, leaving audiences eager to see what he will conquer next.